Hey everyone, this is Marla at Passler Garden. Just gonna walk around the garden here real quick, or maybe not too quick, kind of meander through the garden. It is April 14th, so we haven't done a garden tour all spring, and I wanted to get one in before things really start to change. This is the pond over here, my beloved pond. There are 3 frogs in there, and the fish also survived from last year. I'm starting to dig up some plants that have overgrown all around them, and I found some rocks that we got from the Tennessee mountains from a few years back. They were all buried underneath there, so I'm gonna repurpose those and reuse those. We're getting ready for a plant sale here coming up May 1st, so all of these perennials that I am digging up and splitting will be on the cart, so you can look forward to that. The garlic is coming up rather nicely over here, popping up everywhere. Steve has several garlic patches throughout the garden. Our fruit trees are flowering. They're beautiful little fruit trees. The feverfew and the garlic is coming up all around the guilds. We do a lot of companion planting here at Passler Garden. This is the herb hill that a lot of things are going to be popping up out of here too that are going to be for sale. So we've got comfrey. That's comfrey there. I'll have some of that for sale on May 1st. This here is valerian. The root is used in teas as a sedative or a relaxant and antidepressant as well. I've got a bunch of oregano there that I'm going to pop up and put into pots, and of course lilies, daylilies. But the comfrey and the valerian are two that you don't find at a nursery. So you can find them here though. Our blueberry plants, one of them didn't quite make it through the winter, so we'll pop that guy out of there too. Coming on down the way here, another garlic patch going on. We're not quite all together yet for yoga on the deck, but we're getting there. I've got Gavin working over there, putting up a fence so that our neighbors can enter and exit their house without us staring at them and the dog barking at them. This is my cold frame here that I'm going to get together today. I just used PVC pipe. If you remember from last year, I used PVC pipe from the nail here down to, I'll have a rebar post in there, and then I can cover it with plastic if need be. But it's already so late in the season that I might not need to do that, but I might still put the PVC up so that I can put a bug shield over it if I put brassicas in there, cabbages and whatnot, which I might do. This area getting ready for tomatoes we're gonna have there. This area will be, again, I think we'll have again the trellis here that grew the cowpeas so well last year. I don't know that I'll do cowpeas again, but maybe some other, maybe pole beans or something. This trellis here is going to be coming out, so I'm going to be taking down these grapevines. I hate to see them go, but they got that mildew and they never give us grapes. So although the foliage is beautiful, we'll do something else here in the gateway. Speaking of the gateway, this is going to be fenced. It's going to become a wooden gate, and it's going to be higher so that people walking down the road there can't just peek back into our garden. So by invitation only. These are some of the plants here that I just popped out that I'm going to be potting up. I've got some swamp iris, so the purple ones. I've got rue, I've got lemon balm, and then black-eyed Susans. Time to get the whole area together, but everything is coming in nicely. Can't wait to set up this little spot over here again. It was such an oasis last year. We were surprised to see that this grass survived, so cool little things. One of my favorite spring areas right here, the apple trees with their new growth. So down here in these beds, the spinach and the kale. So look at that kale, holy cow. That survived from last year. We had this all just covered up. And then this is Steve's garlic here, and then I planted onions. So this is my onion patch, and these are onions that I ordered. They're the Walla Walla onions, and I still have all the onions that I started from seed, so I have to find a place for them to go, and then I'm gonna see which ones do better. I'm betting it's gonna be the ones that I started from seed. Garlic over here, this spinach patch and this spinach patch, look at it, holy crap. We're having spinach tonight, Gavin. The spinach is amazing. It too has survived from last year. Steve was like, pull it up and plant new stuff. I'm like, why? Look at it. It's beautiful. Over here I've got brassicas and cabbages planted with onions in between because onion is a good companion plant for brassicas. This aisle here is kind of like our perennial nursery aisle. So from here we will either be digging this up and potting it, or if May 1st comes and we haven't quite got it dug up yet, then we will dig it out and sell it straight from the ground. We've got all kinds of things in here. We've got the black-eyed Susan, swamp iris, we have irises, daylilies. Not sure what that is. It has purple flowers on it though, if I remember correctly from last year. There's hostas coming up in here. I mean, there's so much stuff. Steve buys stuff at the end of the year, you know, those little plants that look like they don't have a chance, and we pop them in, and a couple years later, you know, they're beautiful. So this area here is the asparagus. I think we're going to dig out the asparagus and put in a couple more raised beds, kind of mirroring this side, because this just ended up being a whole big waste of space. We don't really get enough asparagus from this area to merit it having this much room in the garden. So bye-bye asparagus. We'll go to the farmer's market to buy that. The chickens are all locked up because, well, we have to let the grass grow. Sorry, ladies. So they're mad. This was my project yesterday. I totally weeded and cleaned up and then remulched this fire pit. So it is now once again an inviting space. I think last year we might have had one fire out here because it was just, we always had big extra fences up here so that the chickens wouldn't get in there, and it just wasn't easy to get to, so then we didn't use it. So hopefully we use it a little bit more this year. In this mailbox there is a piney squirrel nesting in there. Let's see if he's in there. Well, I don't see him, but he lives right back in there. I opened this up yesterday and there was just a little eye staring at me, so maybe he's got babies in there, or she has babies in there and she has them all covered up. Kind of cool, huh? The back view of Passler Garden. Over here in that spot of sun we have ramps or wild leeks coming up. We normally we go forage for them, and a few years ago we just planted a few just to see what would happen. Our dirt pile, this is where we make our potting soil and our where everything just gets mulched back here. In the fall through the winter, and then in the early spring the chickens are back here scratching and breaking everything up and pooping, and then at about this time we dig it all up and shift it all around, and then we block it off from the chickens and the ducks so that they can't get in there as the plants are coming up. Another mulch area over here, this is where we dumped the contents of the chicken and the duck coop, and then they were in here for a while scratching that up as well. It doesn't smell or anything. We get in here and turn it, it rains, and then it decomposes. So next year that dirt pile will be over here because we will use all of that dirt to replenish the garden beds and to pot up the plants that we sell. And then this fall and winter that will become the dirt pile. More swamp iris over here that we need to pop up and plant. That's all horseradish back in there. It's really good. A bunch of little rhubarbs. We're going to pot up all these too. Raspberries are coming in nicely. Willa is overseeing everything. These two bins right here on the other side, potatoes, we're going to do potatoes in those again. And then I'm not sure what's going to happen on that side where Willa is walking. Sorry girls, you can't come out and play. Gotta let the grass grow. This is where the Queen Anne white raspberries are all popping up, and they are extending out into the mulch, so we will be popping up some of those too as well to sell. These were black raspberry or white blackberries. Hopefully we get something from those this year. Why you gotta be so loud? These are carrots that I sowed last fall. So they overwintered. They got a little bit of a head start in the fall. We covered it with plastic. They overwintered, and now they are coming up nicely. In fact, Willa has already eaten a couple. Look at those nice little shoulders. Oop, don't get the shadow in there. And purple onions here that also survived over the winter. Those are purple bunching onions. Over here we have walking onions, so we'll have a bunch of these for sale as well. The greens and the bulbs are edible. I don't know what I'm going to put back here in this bed yet. Maybe some lettuces or something because it doesn't get full sun. So yeah. We have lots of eggs too, so if you want any eggs, let me know. One quick peek inside the greenhouse. See what we got going on in here for plant sales. These are all the onions that I started from seed. We've got African daisies down there. I have a lot of repotting that I have to do here today. Got some feverfew, thyme. This is all yarrow I got to get in pots. This is my sage. Look at the poor sage. I forgot it out here and it got cold. It will survive. I'll just cut off all these little brown leaves and it'll look so much better, but it will be just fine. Yeah, bunch of all kinds of things. Same with my my lavender there. It did the same thing. It got a little cold, but it'll survive. St. John's wort. We've got some rosemary in there. This is milkweed. Some plants for me that I got. I have to look at the life plant and some lemongrass I'm going to plant over by the pond. Yeah. Tansy. My brassicas. They need to be potted and planted. We're going to put the cattle panel up here again like we did last year. And then we're also going to add another one down there and extend the tunnel. Awesome. Hope to see you all on May 1st. Adios.